who, what, where, when, why.
Who, me, Julio. When, today. Where, performance space, NYC, where I am performing color theories. Why? Because no one stopped me.
Julio, what are your last 4 watched?
Truly, literally the last movie I watched is Star Wars Episode 1. The costuming for Natalie Portman in that movie, like, always really stayed with me. In my mind, most of the movie was her approaching, like, the Galactic Senate and delivering a resounding speech. Turns out that is like 2 seconds of the movie, but for some reason that's the part that stayed with me. My star rating for Star Wars Episode 1 would be gowns, beautiful gowns.
What color is Natalie Portman in Phantom Menace?
Her portrayal of Queen Amidala, it actually approaches lilac, I think.
I was literally...
You were?
I was gonna say lavender. I'm really not kidding.
Okay.
Yeah, right?
Because it's like we think of that character as like when she's wearing like the whole garb, but the like real acting scenes are like when she's out of that drag.
Yeah.
And it's very human and it's very empathetic. Another movie that I had never seen, The Wicker Man, unsettling, which is really the only kind of horror that I can do.
Did you watch it as a horror? Because the first time I watched it as a horror, but if you rewatch it and watch it as a comedy, I'm rooting for the pagans is the thing.
Oh, it never crossed my mind to root for the cop.
And why would you? The thing about The Wicker Man, I think, is that it's like about what would happen if you set a bunch of musical theater kids onto like a little island and just let them set up their own community. They're having a prank. They're having some fun. They're doing a bit. It's this whole little charade. They have masks. They have costumes. They're running around. It's just like a whole little play and everyone's in on it but the cop.
Yeah, they are Nathan Fielder's The Rehearsaling the cop. Yeah.
Back to film number 3.
Either Wolfman or The Wolfman. It was too scary for me.
Okay.
I powered through it. It was definitely like jump scare heavy, and it is shot beautifully. Julia Garner's face loves the moonlight. It's a perfectly cast face for that. The rating I give Wolfman is bleached hair.
We'll do your last movie, but I did just remember I forgot to ask you your Wicker Man rating.
I give it a cloud.
1 cloud.
Yeah.
What's your final film for your last 4 watched?
I think it might actually be Companion. Beautiful, scary, funny. I love android acting. Beautiful performances.
Not horror, but it's very funny that you're saying you're not a horror person and yet you're adjacent on 3 of the 4.
I am doing exposure therapy, for sure, on horror.
Companion, do we have a color? Do we have a rating?
It very intentionally leaned into pastels, right? They made her out to look like a little doll.
I'm gonna tie Companion back to Phantom Menace because in the same way that we're talking about Queen Amidala, she's presenting in this red and this black, harsh, vibrant colors, but actually she's a lilac. You know, she's soft. Companion's kind of doing the inverse is what I am leaning toward.
She goes from passive owned and manipulated to she really gets into her red at the end.
Red era.
She ends in red.
The movie ends red.
Yeah, she starts pink, ends in red. Maybe a suggestion for Letterboxd. Instead of the ratings, maybe like an upload picture, not review, impression.
We're gonna get started on that.
You should. You should.